So we finally have the start of the Tournament of Power. The Universal Survival arc is finally coming to its peak. Stay tuned for my Dragon Ball Super episode 97 review. This episode of Dragon Ball Super, I think, is something that all of us DBC Dragon Ball fans have been waiting for. We're finally getting the action of this Tournament of Power. So I am jumping in. This is my episode 97 review. We're going to be doing reviews about Dragon Ball Super every single week. I know I'm jumping in mid-season, but I really want to talk about this with you guys. So if you're not familiar with what is going on with Dragon Ball Super up to this point, what has happened is Goku and the Z Warriors are part of what is called the Tournament of Power. So what we found out in Dragon Ball Super is there are actually multiple universes in the Dragon Ball universe. So what that means is we actually have universes 1 through 12 in this universe. Now, what is happening right now is that within this universe, we have a Zeno-sama, who is basically the god of all gods for these 12 universes. We know from Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z that each universe has their own set of gods. You have a Supreme Kai in the universe, and then you also have a god of destruction. So then above all of them, we have Zeno-sama, and he is the god of all of the universes. And basically what is happening right now in this arc is that these universes are actually coming together, and they're going to actually have a battle, and the loser universes of this battle, those universes are actually going to be erased. So we have 4 universes that are exempt because they are obviously the most powerful. So they're exempt from this fight, but then we have 8 other universes who are going to be competing in this Tournament of Power. Okay, they get 10 warriors each, and what we're having is a battle royale, and the battle royale just started, and it started off with a bang. So a couple key elements to this tournament. Unlike other tournaments in this, there are some rules that we have that are different. For example, there's no flying unless you have wings. That's right. So none of the Z Warriors are going to be able to fly at all. Obviously, we got no weapons. There's no killing, which is the same as all the other tournaments that we have. No use of Senzu beans or anything like that. So there's going to be no healing or things like that. You are eliminated if you fall off the ring. That's the only way that you are eliminated. And if you fall off the ring, what we saw in this episode is that you actually end up in the stands, and we'll be seeing that here. So this episode starts off with the Grand Priest explaining the rules of the tournament. And then from there, we just get the tournament started. So immediately what happens is, boom, everything goes crazy. Except for the Z Warriors, all don't really do anything immediately. They're kind of chilling there, seeing what's going to happen. And then what happens is Goku, Vegeta, Android 17, Android 18, and Frieza abandon the plan that is we're going to work as a team, and they all go off looking for their separate individual fights, leaving Piccolo, Krillin, Master Roshi, Tien, and Gohan to fend for themselves as a unit. And they actually end up doing quite well there as a unit. So Goku ends up going off and fighting. He's obviously looking for Toppo. He's looking for Toppo to have this big fight. You know, we had a fight with them earlier in this series during this kind of preview for the Universal Survivor arc for the Tournament of Power. So obviously Goku wants to go at him again and settle that score. So what ends up happening is all these fighters go off in their individual directions. Android 18 ends up fighting one of the members of the Pride Troopers. So the members of the Pride Troopers are a group of basically intergalactic police from Universe 9. And Android 18 ends up fighting one of them. Vegeta, they haven't really shown who Vegeta's fighting at this point. Like, it looks like Hit, but I don't think that it is Hit. Obviously, if that was going to be a thing, it would be a whole huge thing. So Vegeta, they don't really show who he is fighting. Android 17, they're not really showing who he is fighting. These are obviously some of the more powerful fighters of Universe 7. Frieza's just pure anarchy, like straight up Joker, just shooting off energy beams in different directions. It's not clear who he is fighting. But the key thing that happens in this episode is there's a lot of stuff that happens with Goku. So Goku, initially what ends up happening is he's going off in the direction and he's immediately going after Toppo. So when he goes after Capo, actually somebody ends up getting in his way, so he has to have a mini battle with that person, and then once he fends that person off, he tries to go after Topo again. But after that happens, Topo gets engaged by another fighter, and then we have this stare down between Goku and Jiren. Jiren actually is probably the main quote-unquote antagonist. He's not really a bad guy, but they keep teasing that he is the most powerful character in this whole story, in this whole tournament of power. Like, even in this episode, a character tries to engage him, and Jiren just looks at him and is like, nope, I'm not fighting Jiren, and just flies off. So obviously Goku, being he wants to fight strong guys, he keeps saying this over and over, so he's not intimidated by Jiren, so he tries to go at Jiren. And then what ends up happening is, because Goku lets his guard down, is that he gets attacked from behind and gets put in this hold, and a fighter actually just tries to straight up drag him off the stage and just suicide attempt and killing both of them. So drags Goku all the way to the end of the stage. Goku ends up having to go Super Saiyan Blue to get out of this hold. So he goes Super Saiyan Blue for a second, then he gets out of the hold. Obviously, Beerus is pissed, like, Goku, why didn't you just do that the whole time? Goku's like, obviously, I didn't want to show my true power this early, so it ends up not actually happening. Obviously, Goku is not going to lose the Tournament of Power in the very first round. So we've only had 2 exits so far in the Tournament of Power. Obviously, they're not going to do these, like, we're not just going to have a bunch of people flying off at the very beginning. So we got 2 people down, we're down to 78 fighters. Obviously, this is just straight up like traditional Dragon Ball. This tournament is only supposed to last for 45 minutes, and within this episode, only 1 minute has gone by. So we're gonna get a lot of action with this Tournament of Power. Another thing gonna happen is the group of Gohan, Piccolo, Tien, Master Roshi, and Krillin, they use this teamwork type of thing, and they actually look like they're working as a really great unit. One of the things that I really like right here is that you actually are seeing a lot about Master Roshi and his knowledge as a fighter, his knowledge as a leader, and I really think that they're going to use that as a theme in this, and he's going to be doing a lot of really good coaching for the rest of the Z Warriors, because he's seeing a lot of things and explaining a lot of things that make a lot of sense that I think will help them in the future. So we get this kind of team up. They fend off another group of like 5 warriors. Obviously, none of them are at their full power yet. Master Roshi hasn't really roided out. Gohan is obviously barely tapped into his potential. Piccolo still has his weighted armor on, so he's not at full power. None of the Z Warriors have really hit full power yet at this point, except for Goku for a brief second uses Super Saiyan Blue. And I honestly think that Goku is probably going to get a new transformation. The reason why I think is because in the very first episode of this, he goes Super Saiyan Blue. Obviously, he just does it for a second. But like, there's no way that they're going to reach Goku's master power in any way in just the first episode. So it's gonna be curious to see what they end up doing with this arc. Obviously, there was so much action. If you haven't seen this, please go check that out. There was so much action. I'm really excited to see what's happened. They tease in episode 98 of Dragon Ball Super that we're gonna get some awesome standoffs with Goku and Vegeta at the end of this episode. Once Goku gets himself back on the platform, he gets surrounded by 5 characters, which this isn't kind of surprising. Goku is kind of responsible for this tournament even happening in the first place, so there's a lot of characters from different universes that are out to get him. So it'll be really interesting to see how he fends off these 5 fighters. I think he's going to do it with relative ease. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of help from Vegeta when it comes into fending off these characters, but I'm literally looking forward to see what is going to happen. Let me know down in the comments what you thought about this episode. I really loved it. Let me know what kind of predictions that you guys have here. I have some predictions that I'm going to talk about a little bit later. I'm going to do that in a different video to see where this Tournament of Power is. I have some kind of crazy predictions. I think that they could do a lot with this. It's just going to be really interesting to see what happens. So let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe. Hit that button to get the notifications. We're going to be doing new videos on Dragon Ball Super every single week. Obviously, stay tuned for some more nerdly news. We got nerdly news every single week, and then also any other reviews that I have up on this channel. So like I said, this is Boldly Nerd. My name's Oscar Hampton. Later days.